What's up, everybody? Welcome to my Q&A. If you don't know how these work, just drop a question in the comment box below, and I'll do my best to answer everybody's questions next week. We didn't get very many questions this week, so I get to take my time a little bit with them, and I appreciate that. Don Curry, if you could live rent-free in an apartment anywhere in the U.S., would you take that over the van life? Great channel, by the way. Thank you. No way. No way. I am sold on living mobily, and, yeah, no way. No way. Kenneth Edwards, did elevating the bed help with condensation? It helped with the condensation on the mattress. Absolutely. It completely eliminated it. Yeah, it gave us a little bit more storage, too. We don't really have much stuff, but it is kind of nice to be off the ground. High top, I want badly still. We want. So we're probably going to get that at some point. But otherwise, yeah, condensation problem on the mattress is gone. Sarah, I want to set up a dual battery system and tried watching your videos, but don't know how large of a battery I should get. What size do you have to work your fridge, laptop, and lights? I got by with the 93 amp hour for the longest time. Would have been nice to have a little bit more, especially for charging stuff at night and just using the lights longer at night and using the roof fan all night long. I couldn't really do that without discharging the battery farther than it was supposed to go, so I would say like 200 amp hours. I have 250 now, haven't even installed it in the van yet. I'm about to do that. I think that'll be enough. We have lots of camera batteries to charge constantly, like all day. Basically, you have to get in a routine with it. It's not like a house where you can just turn on the lights and charge stuff and blend stuff at whatever time you want. You have to kind of plan stuff out. So while the sun's out, if you have a solar panel, or if you're going to be driving during the day, that's when you plug everything in and charge everything up. And at night is when you use the least amount of energy possible. So that's kind of how that works. J.R. Raven, how long did it take you to actually start making decent money from your videos? What do you classify as decent money? Because I don't think I'm making decent money yet. I think I'm doing like $800 a month on ad revenue right now, and that is enough to get by. For living in a van, it's enough, but I would like to up my gear and up my the amount of experiences I can have. For example, like getting a motorcycle or renting kayaks and going on a rafting trip, or getting into places. Went to the Space Needle the other day. It was like 40-something bucks.
It was like $47.
Yeah, $47 to get into the Space Needle. Like, I can't do that stuff all the time. So once my income starts going up, I'll start to be able to do that stuff all the time, which would be really cool. SC1212 Able. I wonder what that means. What's that mean? What's the story behind that? Have you guys thought about doing some adult videos? I know a young couple in Texas that are doing adult videos and loaded them on Pornhub, where their monthly income from ad-generated revenue is about $7,000. Just a thought.
$7,000?
A month, yeah. Oh, I might be in the wrong business. I could get into all the Space Needles I want with that.
I know.
Wow, that's nuts. I have kind of a running joke with I met a cam girl in Wisconsin when I first started, and she was telling me how much money she made, and it was like, what? So I was kind of thinking like, well, if YouTube doesn't work out for some reason, maybe I'll just do that and have all the money in the world. It's not something I'd be like passionate about doing, but I'd have enough money to do anything I'm passionate about, I'd only have to film for 2 minutes at a time, right? So next question comes from Patrick Kowar. What age did you start van dwelling? Haha, sorry, I have clarified, or should have clarified. I'm 19 years old and I finally bought my van today. I'm curious when you started and how positive you were that it's what you wanted to do. Also, is there a way to have a battery? Okay, I'm going to read the second part of this question in a second. How positive was I that I wanted to do it? I was absolutely positive. I was like blindly, I don't care what it costs, what I have to go through to do this. I'm going to do this. I was that dedicated to it. But I started on the motorcycle and I started taking trips with that. I went on a long trip to New Orleans. Didn't work out. Read my website if you want to hear the whole story of how I ended up in a van. It's on my main page, on the home page. So the whole story is actually, I think it's a pretty compelling story. But yeah, started on the motorcycle. That didn't work out. Realized I needed a safe place to sleep every night. And came back and bought the van and sold the bike. So yeah, I love traveling. I need it. It's me. And your second question is also, is there a way to have a battery on an isolator that will just power cigarette lighters and lights in cars? My van has multiple ports and plenty of lights, and I want to be able to use them if possible without draining the car battery. Thanks for answering. Yes, there is a way. It's going to take a little bit of work, and you're going to need to know a little bit of electrical knowledge. Nothing too complex. You need to know about, like fuse sizes and how to cut and crimp wires and be confident doing that, because you're going to have to permanently or semi-permanently modify your vehicle. And I am no expert, so don't take this as expert advice. Take this at your own risk. I am not an expert. You might want to find somebody who is. Maybe somebody in the comment section will correct me if I'm wrong. But the way I would do this is I would find the spot in my fuse panel where the juice to the lights, you're talking about like the accent lights or indoor lights or whatever, and the cigarette lighter adapters go, and then after the fuse, use that fuse, cut the cord where the power comes from your van's like starter battery and splice in some wires to your auxiliary battery, and just keep using that fuse and use the same fuse sizes and wire gauge and everything, and that should totally work. The only thing is they'll always be on, which I guess is what you'd want anyway. But you could throw a switch in there if you want to turn them on and off too. So yeah. So definitely possible. Please do your own research on that. That is the way I would do it though. Jesse Stanford, what's up, Jesse? So how come you switched the MaxxAir vent over the Fantastic Fan, and which one would you recommend over the other? Are they both good choice? They're both a good choice. The main benefit of the MaxxAir fan is it has the, you can open the lid all the way when it's raining and still use the fan and water won't get in. As long as it's not like crazy windy. I could see how if it was super crazy windy and raining, water would get in if you had it open all the way. Anyway, that's the main benefit, is you can have it open when it's raining. That's a huge benefit, especially like in the south where it's hot and humid and raining at the same time. It was an issue with the old roof fans. And you can get like covers for the Fantastic Fan, but they kind of suck. They kind of stick up really, really, really high, and they're really obvious, and they're really ugly, and I just did not want to do that. They're just ridiculous looking. So yeah, the other benefit of this particular one is it has in and out fans. It can blow out and in, which I actually like. I didn't think I would need, but I actually like. And it has a thermostat. So in the summertime, I'm not going to wake up because I'm sweating bullets, and it's ridiculously hot in here, because this thing's going to kick on when it gets hot, and flush all that hot air out and keep air moving in here. So that's really, really nice. I love the thermostat feature. Fantastic Fans do have those if you get one of the models that has that feature. So that's a good thing. And it's got, I think, 10 speeds or something like that, or 6.
I think that's like 9.
9 or something. I don't know. It's got a bunch of speeds, man. And the low is really, really low. And it has, it's called ceiling fan mode. When the lid is closed all the way, you can leave the fan on, and you can just leave it on low, which is really low, and it's just moving a little bit of air all the time, so that'll help with mold and condensation and everything too.
Can you drive if they're open too?
Yeah, and you can drive with this thing all the way open. You can't do that with the Fantastic Fans. Good point. Thank you. Yeah, that's another really big benefit. So that's why I did that. I am in love with this fan. I'm so glad that I got it. Wandering Van Man, hey Jed, do you think 2 of the old Ventline fans would have done the trick? Fantastic Fan is too big, and I'm looking for a lower profile van for my next self-build. They suck, man. They absolutely suck. They hardly push any air at all, and they're really, really loud, and they only have 1 speed, and they just suck, man. If you can figure out a way to put one of these MaxxAir fans in there, I would definitely do it. I mean, even if you had to get like a rack on top or something, like a ladder rack that sticks up a bit, or put ladders on it even or something, to hide it, that would be definitely ideal. Those Ventline fans suck, I'm telling you. They suck. Big mistake buying one of those. Landon Ashby, what's the post-it notes on your ceiling? He's referring to... Oh, where's my handle? These ones. So Evie wrote these for me, and she's really like the sweetest girl in the whole world. And I'm going to read them to you if I can get my camera adjusted properly. Let's see. There we go. So, can I read these?
Yeah.
So this one says, I will always be here for you during the good, the bad, and the ugly. Love, Evie. This one says, you are smart, hardworking, strong, dedicated, funny, sexy, driven, incredibly handsome, reliable, caring, loving, and good-hearted. I love you even when you are grumpy. Thank you. This one says, Jed, you are smart, driven, good-hearted, ambitious, nice, handsome, strong, funny, hardworking, charming, sexy, and so much more. I am super grateful to have you in my life. I love you, Evie. Thank you so much. And she leaves me little notes like that all the time. It's really like the sweetest thing ever. I love this girl. So, next question comes from RJ4949. So when will you show us this machine to translocate your van?
I think it's referring to the last week's Q&A. There was a question, if you could move your van anywhere in the world, where would you go? And then you said we'll transport the van.
Oh.
Right?
I haven't fully developed this machine yet. I'm still in the, what's that called? We're in the Twilight Zone with the camera movement. What is that? It's in, I don't know. It's in development, I guess. Yeah. We'll go with that. Nancy Nightingale, if you had a larger van, would you install a wood-burning stove? I would definitely have one. Those propane butane heater buddies make me nervous. Yeah, they make me a little nervous too. Dry heat is the bomb. Absolutely, man. The thing with those butane, those propane heaters, is they shoot out so much humidity into the air. You're just begging for mold if you use them all the time. Plus, then it's like super hot inside the van, and it's a sudden temperature change, and the outside air is cold, so you guys got condensation for days, man. Good luck getting rid of all that stuff. And then you left me this advice for new YouTubers. This is the last question, by the way, and the rest is her advice that she left for us that I wanted to comment on. She said, please read the following to your audience. Comment on your advice to new YouTubers. Hey, Jed, love your advice to new YouTubers. Yep, same advice for writers. Write about what you know or are interested in. Absolutely. Make videos on subject you are interested in. Yep. This way they will come out interesting to an audience. I would also suggest get your thoughts together, man. Don't and every third word. That's the way I talk, and I tried to change that for a while, and then it just felt unnatural. I felt like I was trying to force my stage presence or whatever, and I would much rather just be myself and be natural. Otherwise, I will go insane and get burnt out and say, screw this, and do something else. But I really like doing this. So the best way for me to do this is to be as authentic and myself as possible. That's not always easy. I slip all the time, but I try. And your next part says, when people record like that, I turn it off right away. That's if that's you, that's you. Very annoying to listen to. Yeah, it can be, definitely. I agree with that. Yeah, it is kind of annoying. I annoyed myself for a long time with that, but it's just the way I talk. Relax, have a listen, refer to, look into the audience camera lens. I do that as much as I can. And chat, discuss away. That's definitely good. Look in the camera lens. It's weird when you watch a video and they're like not looking in the camera lens at all. They're like looking over here. I got the 70D has a flip out screen, so I keep looking at it. I see why Casey Neistat uses sunglasses all the time. It's really hard not to look at it. Let's see here. Oh, and don't be coughing and snorting. Drink a hot tea with lemon, blow your nose, clear your throat. Don't pick your nose, ears, eyes. Get yourself ready and settle down. See, that's all human stuff. I don't know. That's all human stuff. I would rather watch a human being a human than, you watch TV and it's so fake. They're all wearing makeup. It's all scripted. It's all, look at how perfect I am. I'm a flawed human, man. I'm messed up. Everybody's messed up. I don't want to see a robot. I want to see a human being. If you're going to pick your nose, pick your nose. If you're going to rip a fart, Like, just be a human. I like humans. So I don't necessarily agree with your advice, but it is your advice, and you are certainly entitled to it. So that's it, guys. Really short one this week. So thanks for watching. Hope you got something out of this, and see you next time. Love yourself. I'm going to turn this off.